let's spend a few minutes trying to combine everything that we've done here in the context of some hypothetical results from some studies. Let's say you've designed a weight loss drug, and you've taken this drug and you've compared it to a placebo, and you've looked at how much weight do people lose on average. We talked about this a little bit before, but let's spend a little more time thinking about statistical significance and clinical relevance, practical importance. So let's say here's 6 different studies on this drug. Let's say that study number 1, we find a mean weight loss of 2 pounds. And the confidence interval is from 1 to 3. Now, if this is a 95% CI, we see that the null value there of 0 is not included. So this would be statistically significant. P is less than 0.05. In that case, you get to write a little asterisk or some notification next to it, and you might get to publish your study. Now, think for a second, what would the headline of this be? Something like new drug induces a significant amount of weight loss. Would you buy the drug? Well, you got to look a little more closely. You have to look at the actual magnitude of the difference. And you have to look at the confidence interval and see what effects your data are consistent with. Remember, when you do the study, you're going to give people drugs. You're going to measure people. You're going to put your hands on people. But you don't care really about those specific people. You care about the population. And the population here would be potential takers, prescribers, users, customers for this drug. Would you take a drug to lose weight if you lost between 1 and 3 pounds? I don't think I would. There's lots of easier, better, more fun ways to lose 2 pounds. So I would say this is statistically significant, but it's probably not clinically relevant. How about this second study? Here we see a mean, remember this is the mean, average weight loss of 30 pounds, confidence interval being between 20 and 40. Again, the p-value would be less than 0.05, and this would be statistically significant. But is it clinically relevant? Yeah, heck yeah, it is. You'd make a ton of money if you had a drug that you could sell people and they would lose between 20 and 40 pounds. How about this one? Again, same mean weight loss. But when you look at the confidence interval, you start to wonder, is it clinically relevant or not? What have you really learned here about this drug, about weight loss? Here's something that may cause a lot of weight loss. It may cause you to lose 2 pounds. Now, I said you, like as an individual person, I'm talking about the average. The average weight loss on this could be 2, it could be 58. In this case, what would you do here? I think what you would do is try to get bigger sample size. You would try to test this on more people. You throw more money at the problem to get a bigger N. And as you get a bigger N, what happens to your CI? It shrinks. The standard error gets smaller. You get more precision. You get a better sense of what the truth is. And maybe you can find out, does this drug actually have a really big clinically relevant effect, or is it just a very modest effect? What if you found this? A mean weight loss of 1 pound and the confidence interval from -1 to 3. Well, 0 is in there. So in this case, we would have to say it's not significant. What have you learned here? Well, you've learned that even if there were any statistical significance, even if I got a giant N and really, really increase my precision, what would I see? Maybe a very modest 1 or 2 pound weight loss. What you would do, I think, in study number 4, I think you would just run away from this drug. It's not really worth it. And I don't think this is worth continuing. What about study number 5? Here we have basically the same amount of weight loss, a couple pounds. And the CI here, oh my gosh, the CI is so wide. So wide. This is almost the worst result to get here because you haven't really learned anything. This drug is either really good or it's really bad. And why did you start the study? Well, I want to know if the drug is really good or really bad. You haven't really learned anything here. And then let's look at this one here. In this study, we see 30, a mean weight loss of 30. The CI includes the null. So again, it's not statistically significant. But if you look at that CI, you might come to a different conclusion. You might say, well, this drug, it might be really good. And if I could just get a bigger N somehow, I could shrink that and actually find statistical significance. If I got a bigger N, I could almost turn 6 into 3. And I can get statistical significance, which means I can get published, and I can get accolades, and I can maybe get awards, and I can maybe keep my job. But I still haven't really sussed out or really grokked whether it's clinically relevant or not, because it's between 2 and 58. So I think the important point here is don't look only at the p-value. Don't look only at whether things are significant or not. You've got to look at the confidence interval and start to think about, is there clinical relevance here? Is there practical importance here?